Hey everyone, and welcome to episode number 121 of the Unknown Games Podcast. Thanks for listening and tuning in. I'm your host, Adrian, and joining me today is my co-host, always, the number one with the most smiles and joy, Alex.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? How's it going, man? It's Valentine's Day here while we're recording. I almost, it slipped my mind. Everyone knows now my priorities. But hopefully you're having a great Valentine's Day. I ate some chocolate. Did you at least have chocolate?
I had zero chocolate. I actually just got home. I literally got home. I got through my door and then I washed my hands because, that's what you should be doing nowadays.
That's true. Got to wash the hands.
And then I messaged you and I was like, I'm home. Yeah, I just got back from dinner. For Valentine's, we went to a local craft beer place, actually.
Oh, nice. Wait. Oh, snap.
Yeah, so there's a craft beer place, pretty chill. They have a rotating menu pretty much every month. Like 9 different brews, basically. So I'm kind of drunk, actually.
Okay. We get this is the perfect episode. Don't worry, man. We're just talking about Nintendo. What makes better than a little bit of a,
Yeah.
And Xenoblade.
Sure. So I had a couple of beers and I'm ready to podcast. Yeah, we're podcasting.
There we go. But for everyone who's joining us live right now on YouTube, thanks as always for being here. And be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about us as well. We do co-op streams on Sundays. We also have the podcast, and we also put up some Pokemon Unite and other content throughout the week. So definitely go give us a subscription right there, or subscribe. And then speaking of subscriptions, we don't just
speaking of subscriptions,
we're not just on YouTube. You can also follow each of us on Twitch. I'm at NinjaTrixta, and you can follow my co-host Alex at Route24. That's ROUTE 24, the number.
Right. That's
what
right.
What are you streaming these days?
I'm still streaming Pokemon. I actually beat the game over the weekend off stream. I just actually
wait, what? You said I chat. I can't wait.
I streamed on Thursday. We got to a really good part of the story on Thursday when I was streaming, and I was like, all right, what's a good place to leave it for now? I'll see you guys next time. I might just play the game by myself, and then I did.
Okay. Yeah, they knew, so it's okay. It's all good because they knew.
I'm probably still gonna stream it on Tuesday tomorrow because there's post game stuff to do. There's a bunch of others. Yeah, there's some post game. So I'm gonna be streaming a little bit of Pokemon Arceus, and then I think next week I might be streaming a little bit of FF6, the Pixel remaster, just to check that out. But
that does come out
as we move into March, it's gonna be some Chaos Killing, and then
Chaos.
And then in April probably some remasters. So yeah.
Gosh, yeah. We're in a really good spot in games right now. I know I've been playing a lot of Horizon Zero Dawn. So if you're coming to the stream Saturday and Sunday night, it's
also
Horizon.
I saw you were streaming also AI Somnium Files, right?
Yes, Fridays AI Somnium nights.
You enjoying that or what?
I'm enjoying it. I love that game.
Yeah.
I love the dialogue. I love the characters. We talked about it last week on the show and a little bit before, but I'm enjoying it. I don't know when I'm going to finish it completely because I think there are multiple endings, which I'll probably just do one. I'll probably do one. But I'm
on stream. You mean right?
On stream, yeah.
But you'll finish the game off stream, right?
Wait, there's more endings that I need to finish off stream to actually get the real ending?
I don't. Snap. I guess you've never played any of this guy's games before.
No.
But you have to get every single ending to get the ending. If you wait for credits to roll, right?
Right.
You just wait for credits to roll, you're gonna have so many questions. You're gonna have so many unanswered questions that you're like, yeah.
I guess I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see
Yeah.
that. And because like honestly, if I would just like stick to playing, I play about 3 hours once a week, right? 3 to 4 hours max.
Yeah.
If I were just to just hammer it out through a week, I feel like, almost like near Automata, you could kind of like blast through some of the stuff, right? Because you're just at that point you're going back to do the opposite route which you did not do.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay.
So if you're enjoying the game, if you're into the story and you're like, oh, this is good, like what's happening, if you beat the game on stream, you're gonna have so many questions. So I would totally understand if you beat the game on stream, but then you decide to just play the rest on your own.
Okay.
But you basically have to get every single ending.
Okay, I remember Ehe was actually telling me, he was like, yeah, actually, is this happen for you, or are you playing this route or this route? I was like, what the heck are you talking about, man?
You have to get every single ending, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I have that to look forward throughout the year. And then, of course, like this week, we've got, I think Horizon Forbidden West comes out. Next week is Elden Ring.
Yeah.
And after that, like you said, Chaos, Strangers of Final Fantasy Paradise, Strangers of Paradise. Wait, Final Fantasy Strangers of Paradise. There we go. That's coming out.
Nope. Final Fantasy
Paradise Strangers.
Stranger Paradise. You got it wrong every single time you got it wrong. But like,
even the time I thought I got it right, I got it wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well, all we need is chaos. But what isn't chaotic is completely the Nintendo Direct that happened on I think it was the 9th of last week. I had the 9th written down, but
it was the 10th in Japan. It was the morning of the 10th.
Yes.
So, yeah, in Japan.
Yeah.
So it would have been the 9th for everyone who's not in Japan, but yeah.
Had a lot of news come. Honestly, I watched it. I was up early enough to actually have it on and watch it, and I was like, this is the first time I've done this in a long time. But it was
like 7 a.m. I'm like sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah. I was up and I was like, let me take a look at this thing. And it was, honestly, I have to say, it was like nothing breathtaking, like crazy, but it was solid all the way through.
There was a bunch of announcements in there that I was like, oh, really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just run down the list really quick. I keep calling it live like live.
It's live alive.
Live alive. I like love live and stuff gets in my head. I want to call it like live alive.
I want to call it alive.
I want to call it like live alive. Live alive.
No.
But
yeah,
no,
live alive.
Live alive. That's getting the HD 2D remake.
Which is incredible. Yeah.
Treatment. Earthbound. I think it's like 1 and 2 are going to be Origins.
And Earthbound. Yep.
Yep, coming to the eShop. And then we also had the Klonoa out of nowhere, Chrono Cross remaster, which is coming to all of the systems, but shown on the Switch. I mean, we talked about this was the rumored remastered, right?
Yeah, it's real.
It's real.
Who would have guessed? It's real. Yeah.
And walking on
my emotions are a roller coaster. Honestly,
it was. Yeah, I was like, oh snap, it's real. But I was like, we were talking about this like it was going to happen, but then at one point we were like, it's not going to happen.
And we're like, oh, what? I was like, no way, it's not real. And it's like, wait, maybe it is real. And then it was like, here it is, the Chrono Cross collab with another Eden. I'm like, fuck.
Right. They had us like from the jump. We were like, I guess that was it,
yeah, fuck. Oh man.
Whoever said it was going to be at Sony's stage, you know what? Bump you. Never trusting you again.
Yeah, what a roller coaster.
So that was that happened. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now I thought it was gonna be Mario Kart 9, but no, they're like, no, we're just bringing out 48 remastered courses, which is a lot. That's crazy, Then it looks like they did a great job on those. And I guess the biggest of them all. Well, I mean, there's a couple more, of course. Like we got some Squid stuff from Splatoon 3. I think there's one of the modes there. That's how I feel. Yeah. It was like, oh, cool. We also had Mario Strikers. We had Nintendo. What is it called? Switch Sports or something? Not Wii Sports, but
Nintendo. It's like Wii Sports, but on Switch, right?
But Switch. Oh, Nintendo Switch Sports. That's what it's called.
Yeah. So it's like Wii Sports, but it's on the Switch. So I'll probably get it, to be honest. But
Kirby and the Forgotten Land had a little bit of a trailer with Kirby eating a car.
Yeah.
Mouthful mode.
Yeah.
Somebody had a fun time naming that. And Fire Emblem Warriors, Three Hopes.
Yes.
That's continuing the Warriors series. That's coming up here. And then a bunch of ports. And then finally, of course, like I said at the beginning of the show, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I think that was probably the biggest one that
that was a big surprise.
yeah, everyone. I think everyone was so focused on looking for like, hey, when's that Breath of the Wild tentative 2, whatever it's called? Like, what are they going to show for that? You know, and they come up and they're like, hey, we have other stuff. We're all focused on it. But hey, I mean, where do you want to start? We can start anywhere. We can start anywhere.
What was like for you personally? Like, what was the biggest like surprise?
It was, you know, what the biggest surprise for me was. I mean, Chrono Cross was the biggest surprise. I don't think I wasn't expecting that at all. But what hit me the weirdest was Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah, really.
Because we've kind of talked about. I mean, we've definitely talked about this on the show a bajillion, umpteen million of times, right? About we wanted Xenosaga HD Remaster Collection, right?
Yeah,
we wanted.
Yeah.
And at this point, I've given up. I said, you know
You're
what?
Like, you're done. Yeah. Well, that was like me and Chrono Cross, but you know.
I finally gave up, unfortunately, when I saw this and the fact that 1 and 2 are connected to 3. And apparently, this is all a story that I'm like, oh, well, if I trusted them with you know, my Xenogears and my Xenosaga, maybe I should trust them and give them a second chance on Xenoblade.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
That was my reaction. But honestly, what got me kind of like hooked was just knowing that, hey, people on the internet were like, yo, this is like dude from like Xenoblade 1, or this is the person from like, these are some of the blades from Xenoblade 2. Like, stuff is carrying over, and it got me a little bit more like, hey, I kind of want to, maybe I want to invest. Maybe I want to kind of give this a try, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm the same way. So I bought Xenoblade Chronicles when it was released in English. Was it 2010 actually, or something like that? Yeah.
Gosh, 2010. It was probably 2010. Yeah.
And then I bought Xenoblade Chronicles 2 when it came out in Japan on the Switch as Xenoblade 2. I don't know why they changed the name for Japan in English. It's confusing, but
I don't know.
Yeah, so I got Xenoblade 2, and I played it for like 3 hours, but then I never committed to it. But now that they announced 3, and I'm like, you know what? Should I attempt to like go back?
Right.
And yeah, but like, where do I start? Do I do 2 and then go back to 1? Should I go buy the remaster of 1 and then play 2 and then 3? You know what I mean?
I mean, it seems like, so what it seems like is that 1 and 2, while not like 100% connected,
yeah,
right,
are still connected, yeah,
are connected. The world and the events that occurred in one game kind of carry over to influence how the world is, I guess, shaped. And then 3 is kind of like the payoff. I think 3 might be the end of this.
The trilogy here,
the
right?
trilogy. I feel like this is it. They've never specifically, I don't think, said like, hey, this is it, right? Like, we're making 3 games, that's it. But
yeah,
I mean, that they've remade the first game 3 times at this point. So
they have actually. Yeah, you're right.
They've made, it's making the.
Do you ever think we're gonna get Xenoblade Chronicles X, the lost Wii U game, or what?
What in the world? What? Why do I feel like I've heard of that? But what was special about X?
It was just like a different game. It was just a game. It was on the Wii U, and it was a Xenoblade game, but it's not part of the main trilogy here.
Oh.
So I don't know if we're gonna get. So there's Xenoblade 1, 2, 3 now, and there's Xenoblade Cross, Xenoblade X. What's it called in Japan? Do you know? Xenoblade.
I don't know. If it's an X, it's bound to be called Cross. But I think it's only Cross if the X is in the middle of something. Correct?
It's called Cross in Japan.
It's called Cross. Okay.
So
okay.
in English, it's called Xenoblade Chronicles. I want to say Cross. So in English, it's called Xenoblade Chronicles X Cross. Okay. But in Japan, it's called Xenoblade Cross. It's outside of the main trilogy, but it still exists like as part of this. It's called Xenoblade, right?
Yeah. It's still in the inherent story of some sort.
I wonder what's going on with Cross, actually. I don't know if we're going to get another sequel to Cross.
A sequel to that. I mean, now that you mention it, if they need to, if they ever want to, if they finish with this, of like, this is it, the trilogy, and Cross is actually something they want to go back to. And because I'm honest, I'm really curious what Monolith's going to do after this game, right? Do they continue with the Xeno franchise? Because it's made so much money for Nintendo, and it has its fans, like really core fans. I don't even know if they really want to play another type of game from them, or just continue to like Xenoblade Online, MMO it.
You know what? They should just do a Xenosaga remake or sequel. Xenoblade. How insane would it be if they did Xenosaga 4?
Oh, but they finished the story, but this would be like the director's cut, right? Or like a redux, some like if we didn't finish the story, this is how it actually would have gone type
Yeah,
of
so
deal.
for anyone who doesn't know,
Snap.
Xenoblade, sorry, Xenosaga was supposed to be like
It's
6
like
games?
5 or 6 games, yeah.
Yeah, like a huge number of games, but I think the franchise like wasn't doing as well as they hoped, so they just basically killed the franchise after 3 games.
I blame too.
And they just oh yeah, 2 was pretty bad. What was so sorry if we go way back in time, we go back to Xeno Gears.
Yeah, yeah.
I think when you beat the Xenogears, there's a screen that says part. There's something about like, yeah. So when you beat Xenogears, it says episode 5.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
in terms of like Xeno Saga is before Xeno Gears kind of thing.
Yeah. So if you beat Xenogears, the game that came out on PS1 like all those years ago, when you finish watching the credits, it says Xenogears episode 5, the end. Which means
Interesting.
Yes, isn't that crazy?
I don't even know what would actually happen for that, because we're literally talking about a game where these employees used to be at Square, split off to do Monolith, and then now are owned by, which was published games by Bandai Namco at the time, or Bandai, was it Namco at that point?
It was at the time it was just Namco.
It was just Namco, yeah. And then are now at Nintendo first party. I don't even know who.
I think it's second party.
Are they still second party?
I think it's second party. Yeah.
I feel like they've done so much work. They just need to get that bump up. I mean, it's still about the same, but
but I don't know if you knew that, but when you beat Xenogears, the first game that come out in terms of release, it says episode 5.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and then Xenosaga was released as Xenosaga episode 1, 2, 3. So there was supposed to be an episode 4. Xenogears would have been 5, and then I think there was going to be like a 6 or maybe a 7 after that.
Yeah, Xenogears, kind of the way it ends, like, because I remember playing it and I remember beating it, but I didn't stay to the end of the credits or anything. But I just remember, like, when you switch from disc 1 to disc 2 is so short. It's like it's basically like you play it for 30 minutes.
It's like the boss fight, yeah.
It's the boss fight. It's a cutscene and like a couple of going to some places and a boss fight. That's it. And I'm like, I've never popped in a game disc for like switch to disc for 30 extra minutes or an hour extra of content. It was kind of weird, but it did feel rushed. Like it felt a little rushed, but it's still good. Like that game, goodness, it still holds up. But yeah, I mean, going back to Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I almost have a weird kind of way of wanting to do it like I'm doing like Kingdom Hearts now, is to go through the entire series. And I mean, what I've heard about the game and what made me stop playing, I don't know about you, Buzz, all the side quests. Like, I just got hung up on them.
For me, it was like, I don't know, it sounds so superficial, but it looked like shit on the Switch.
It does. It's not. It does.
Because I like actually primarily play my Switch. Well, not anymore, but I used to play it at the time, but in handheld mode.
Okay.
It just looked really bad.
I mean, the Switch in handheld mode for most things, I unless it's stylized, the art direction, unless it's a very specific way, it kind of, it's hard. I'm sorry, but they need to do something with the Switch.
But the thing about Xenoblade is that, like, I like the world. I like the characters, especially like, the characters look good. It's a nice art style.
Yeah. Yep.
And there's there's not a lot, but there's some figures for Xenoblade. So there's actually, believe it or not, a Cosmos figure for Xenoblade, but she's not even.
That's a good figure. That's a good figure too. They have some great figures for Xenoblade too. Like, no joke.
So there's a Cosmos figure. I know she's from Xenosaga, right? But there's actually a Xenoblade Cosmos figure. There's the Pyra and the Mithra figures. And they just look really damn good. So
it's like they pretty much took everything that, you know, honestly, they don't look as doll-like as they used to back in Xenosaga 1. Praise everything. But I didn't even hate it back then. But yeah, like, there's something about the way that the direction of these games that just was like, yeah, I would honestly, I would watch the anime. You know what? I would watch the anime.
Did you know there was a Xenosaga anime?
Yes, yeah.
Did you watch it?
I did not watch it because I did not have the means of getting it.
I mean, you could have got it somehow, but yeah.
I wanted to, but I was still on dial-up at the time.
Oh, what? Holy shit,
I was
dude.
still on dial-up. I was on dial-up and like all the way through high school. I didn't get high-speed internet until college, until I moved into the dorms.
Holy
and
shit.
By that
dude.
time, I had forgotten about
The anime?
that anime. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that there's an Idolmaster? We're getting off track here. Did you know that there was the first Idolmaster anime wasn't even about like Idolmaster proper? It was like a alternate, not even alternate universe. It was basically like if the characters of Idolmaster were mech pilots.
So it was like Hyper Neptune or some weird thing.
It was crazy. You should look it up. It looks pretty crazy. You should look it up. But yeah. And then later they did a proper Idolmaster anime where they're actually idols. But yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, but what about for you? What was your surprise for the show? What was your deal?
You know what? It's got to be Chrono Cross the remaster. I kind of gave up hope on it. Like it was the roller coaster of emotions because like, you know, going back to the Nvidia leak, right? So like when the Nvidia leak happened, I was looking at the games there and I was like, you know what? This is too good to be true. This is bullshit. Like some of it maybe looks okay, but the rest of it, like, come on, like a Chrono Cross remaster. I love Chrono Cross, but there's no way Square even cares about the game anymore, right?
There's no reason. There's no way that they still care about it.
Yeah, but like over time, like we actually managed to see like these games from the Nvidia leak come out. Like we have what was some of the crazy ones? Not crazy, but the Grand Theft Auto
Grand Theft Auto trilogy
was real, yeah.
Yep.
And then we got Uncharted on PC, real.
We did God of War on PC, real.
Yeah. So, you know, over time, you know, these games started to come out of the leak and they were real. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe there is a Chrono Cross remaster. And then we got more evidence for the Chrono Cross remaster.
We did a whole podcast on this thing. We were like,
there was legitimate signs that this remaster was going to be real. And then we got this crossover announced with
Another Eden,
the mobile game.
Yep.
And I was like, oh man, like this is what it was. Like, you know, it was too good to be true after all. You know what I mean? Like it was it was too good to be true. And I was like, I forget about it. But then I woke up to a tweet actually from you. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's real. Like this Chrono Cross remaster is actually real. And what's cool about this remaster is not only is it like a proper remaster, is they're including Radical Dreamers, right? They're including this Satellaview downloadable game text adventure that previously was Japan only, that we're actually getting with the remaster here. So for anyone who doesn't know what Radical Dreamers is after Chrono Trigger came out in Japan and I guess the world, there was a downloadable game on the Super Famicom on the Satellaview add-on system called Radical Dreamers. Yeah.
Honestly, that sounds very radical and insane because it was downloadable.
Right. So, I mean, just a really quick version is the Satellaview. It sounds crazy now, but the Satellaview was an add-on for the Super Famicom that basically connected to, I guess, you know, satellite, the internet, basically. And Nintendo would distribute downloadable video games over the satellite. And Radical Dreamers was one of these games that was distributed on the Satellaview add-on, and it was meant to be kind of like a sequel to Chrono Trigger. It's it's entirely a text adventure.
Is it kind of like the in between of Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, kind of?
Yes, yeah. It was basically, you know, after Chrono Trigger, and in Radical Dreamers, introduces the what's it called, the Frozen Flame, which is a key item and plot point in Chrono Cross. But it introduces three characters: the main character and Kid and Guile. I think maybe not Guile, but the character that would later go on to become Guile in Chrono Cross. But it's three characters infiltrating Viper Manor to steal the Frozen Flame.
Okay.
And it comes after Chrono Trigger. That game now, I believe that game now is no longer canon. It's basically been reworked into Chrono Cross proper.
Huh. Okay.
But the fact that we're getting this, kind of lost video game as part of the remaster is pretty cool.
Which I have to say, that's one of the things that I felt about the Nintendo Direct overall was it felt like Nintendo was like Nintendo brings it for you, right? They bring you kind of what you wanted for a while and things you didn't expect. And this is one of those surprises, along with Earthbound and, stuff that people were asking for, but bringing those previously Japan only kind of unlocalized content to the West. And I'm like, I feel like that's just love, man. Thanks Nintendo, because otherwise maybe we wouldn't have ever had this legally and as a way of easily getting it. You know what I mean? So it's like really good really good faith on them.
I for the Chrono Cross remaster, I actually wonder like what Nintendo did to kind of had first dibs to announce it, because it's actually not exclusive to the Switch. It was announced at the Nintendo Direct, but it's actually not a Switch exclusive.
Yeah, it's on all the.
It's coming like day and date to the PS4 and the Xbox and Steam. So I wonder what Nintendo, if there was any kind of a agreement that was like, let us announce this game first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, so Radical Dreamers is also, that's bundled with it, right? That's it's all one package. Okay, I mean, I don't. That's a good question. What exactly is it? But then if you think about it,
it's not timed. It's not time exclusive. No. Yeah, so they kind of just announced it like. I wonder if Nintendo was like, look, we gotta hype our presentation somehow. Like, can we announce it first?
It comes in around at the 15-minute mark of a 40-minute presentation, so it's not the star. And I think that's the kind of thing. Like, even when I was looking on the internet, between this and I'm going to say it wrong again, Live Alive. I feel like Live Alive got more attention just because it's such an old game that didn't really make it, and then got the HD 2D treatment.
So here's Live Alive to me was actually a really big surprise, because number one, that game was previously Japan only and never made it out of Japan.
And no one, anyone who knows what it is either really diehard into JRPGs or was born in like the 70s or 80s,
they just
whatever.
Live in Japan, yeah.
Or they live in Japan, but I mean, like,
so Live Alive is a Japan only RPG. It's Square. It's a SquareSoft game, and
yep.
I don't know why they never brought it out of Japan. I feel like it would have been fine to localize, but they just never did. So the fact that it's getting a remaster is pretty cool, and the fact that it's getting released for English audiences. So the first time, if you don't speak Japanese and you never played a fan translation, this is your first chance to really play this game. That's really cool. But on top of that, not just a remaster, it's getting the 2D HD remaster, like the treatment.
Yeah.
It looks damn good.
It looks good, like this style.
Yeah.
Like some people would even argue like they would love, and the pixel remasters are a completely different thing, right? But some people are like, I kind of would like this too as a pixel remaster, like Final Fantasy VI, but at the same time, it's going for two different things. But this looks good, it looks good.
Yeah, 2D HD looks so damn good. So this is now the games that are using 2D HD are Octopath, Triangle Strategy, Dragon Quest III Remake, and now Live Alive, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think a lot of people were more not, I won't say excited, but just more surprised, just because it's like, what in the world is this? And it's got so many different stories in it. It seems different characters. And honestly, it looks kind of cool. Like there's a lot of games in this conference that I thought I could turn my Switch on for. I could turn my Switch on for this.
I bet you're glad that you bought your Switch recently.
Man, sometimes I think I wish I had got a Switch OLED. I remember walking out of the store and buying my current Switch, but looking at that OLED and being like, man, maybe the 50 was actually worth it. I mean, it doesn't have any extra power or anything to it. It's just a nicer screen. That's all, honestly.
Well,
the Joy-Con still act up on you.
You said you weren't even going to play it handheld, right? So
I don't really. I don't do it handheld that much, so it's still okay. Like, honestly.
Yeah, I used to play my Switch handheld mode like way more often. Goose, that's like you can play it in bed, you can play it on the couch, you can whatever, right? And the screen is so small that like the pixel density kind of makes the game look a little
It
better.
looks a little better, yeah.
But
I just can't deal with the font.
I mean, now that I just play it kind of docked all the time now, so it's not like whatever. But yeah, no, I bet you're maybe glad you're gonna you have your Switch now.
I am.
But like, what about you? Like, out of all the games that were announced and all the DLC that was announced, like, what's the thing that you're the most like happy about? I guess because for me, it's Chrono Cross Remaster. Like, no doubt,
Right.
That's awesome. I'm not gonna play it on a Switch. I'm gonna play it on PC, but still, like the fact,
yeah.
like, yeah.
It's,
But like, what about you? Like,
so yeah, most excited was Xenoblade Chronicles 3 announcement wise, but excited to play wise. I keep thinking I'm going to be more and more excited to play some Kirby, but of course it's Kirby, right? It's not really that challenging. So on that front, I was just like, is there something here that interests me? Really? Like, I wouldn't mind going back to Advance Wars 1-2 Reboot Camp, just because I played a lot of that on Advance when it came out and had a blast with it. Like, tons of bus rides just playing that game. But I don't know what I'll actually play outside of trying to give the the Xenoblade series a second shot in terms of like being directly influenced from this conference. And then of course probably just going and playing Metroid Dread. But yeah, I'm not a Fire Emblem person, as in I haven't started in the series, but I do like what it does. I mean, I don't know if Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes is something I should be excited about.
I'm gonna say, if you've never played a Fire Emblem game before, maybe don't play the Muso game. Like, just it's not gonna make sense to you.
It's like a continuation of the story, correct?
Well, and it assumes you're familiar with those characters, which you're not.
Which I'm not. Yeah, it's like it makes like all these things make me want to be like, okay, maybe if I'm interested in this, I might want to go check out Three Kingdoms. Not Three Kingdoms, but Three Houses. The Three Kingdoms is great.
I mean, if you
but...
want to play a Fire Emblem game, just go ahead and jump in on Three Houses. You have a Switch. It's one of the better Switch. It's one of the best Switch games. It looks really good. It has an awesome art style. If you like strategy games, you're probably gonna really enjoy it. So just go ahead, pick up a copy of Three Houses, and if you love those characters so much, you're like, yeah, maybe I'll play the Muso game. But
that's exactly how I feel. Honestly, that's how I felt about the conference. Like a lot of it, not all of it, but there was a good chunk of the conference that were ports, Portal 2 and all these other games.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Portal games. Holy shit.
Even I forgot about the remaster or whatever of Front Mission, like
oh shit, yeah,
whatever
you're
that
right. Yeah, Front Mission,
was there. Like, oh, okay guys, we'll enjoy that too. But I mean, like, some of these just make me like, okay, this is cool. I might not play it, but I want to play the previous game in the series. And that's what it made me realize, you know what? There are a lot of games now on the Switch, and a lot of good quality games, as opposed to like 10 years ago when it was good quality games, but like a handful. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The Switch has so many good games now. Some of them are originals, like Breath of the Wild and Splatoon and Xenoblade. And some of them are ports, but still. It's a good library.
I mean, there was something I was thinking about when I was listening to another podcast, and they were talking about how, Nintendo isn't going to get in this whole bidding war similar to like Sony and Microsoft of buying publishers and all this kind of game studios, whatever. And I'm like, they do have their own IP to stand on, and those IP are super strong. We're looking at, Fire Emblem Three Houses. Then what's the second in the series? There's a second one, right? Like a follow-up to that?
To Three Houses?
Was there a follow-up to Three Houses, or was there just
DLC to Three Houses?
Just DLC? Okay. So similar to like Pokemon Sword and Shield, they had like just some DLC.
There's DLC for Three Houses, yeah.
Okay.
But and there's a ton of there's a lot of Fire Emblem games, right?
Yeah, there's a ton of Fire Emblem games though.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've gotten a Pikmin, have we? We just got like a remaster of Pikmin 1 and 2 or something. or Switch. I forgot what happened to Pikmin.
Pikmin 3 is
Pikmin
Wii
3
U
is Wii
still,
U,
right?
Right.
Can't remember, man.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, they even without the ports, I think if you have a Switch now, it's probably the best time to start playing if you haven't already started.
Yeah, I mean,
Like me.
I've been using my Switch for the first time in years to play Arceus. So,
Yeah, getting the dust out of it.
are you gonna play Pokemon or
I still
what?
need to buy Pokemon. Or like, I haven't realized I haven't played this many open world games in like ever.
Yeah,
Because Horizon's open world. I'm trying to like, I'm struggling to like make it through it because it's like I love all the side quests in it. I love just like learning about the lore and the people and talking and doing side. It's too big, and it's not even the biggest. It's not like some freaking Skyrim, but I get lost in it. But it keeps me going. I love it. And then like Arceus, I'm sure has like a similar kind of thing, right? Where maybe it doesn't have as many side quests, but you can kind of get lost in it a little bit, right?
yeah.
Like,
It's so fun. It's so fun to go to a new area and just like catch all the Pokemon. Like just chuck,
yeah, yeah.
Pokeballs out. It's really fun. So I'm done the story, so now I'm just doing like the end game kind of stuff. So
Yep. But that was pretty much it from the direct. A lot of these games are coming out fairly soon. April, May.
right, yeah, and
June,
then
July.
I think Xenoblade is September, I believe.
I believe so. Let me.
But it's still this year, which is
It's still
something that
this
I
year.
really
Yep.
I appreciate that from Nintendo. Like, a lot of other companies would be like, "Hey, we're working on this game. It'll come out in a year, 2 years, maybe. I don't know, right?"
Yeah.
But Nintendo, they're just like, "What's September?" And then just like drop the
Yep.
mic and leave. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It
it's
is
not even
September.
like it's like not even like, "Oh, we're working on it." It's just like, "Hey, you know what?
It's almost done.
It's
Same
coming
with
out."
Arceus too. Like it was pretty much like almost, you didn't have to wait too long for it.
Yeah.
So it's part of their strat. Definitely either drop it day and date of the show or drop it a couple, no more than several months later. But having it in that year and like, hey, this is one of their. I don't know if this is their final tentpole release for the year because it is September. It's not December or anything like November or something like that. So we still have a really big game, probably 100% going to be announced. And we already know what it is.
What do you think it is? Like, what is Nintendo?
You know it's Zelda. You know it.
Yeah, right.
It ain't nothing else. What else they hold on to? Like that's the one thing.
Yeah.
They have
I think
crazy powerhouse IPs.
The Nintendo Direct was just like we're announcing games for the first half of the year.
Right.
They didn't even talk about like the second half.
The second half, nah.
Yeah.
Nah. And we still haven't heard anything. We haven't heard anything from Sony either in terms of what they have going on outside of third-party games.
Right.
There's, of course, we know Ragnarok's coming, but like the Horizon came out or is coming out. By the time you listen to this podcast, that's it. We don't know anything else that they're working on. Same with Microsoft. We don't know. This is it's actually kind of cool. Like a lot of stuff is relatively quiet, and I guess we'll see what all these studios have been actually working on. But hopefully, they take the Nintendo approach and we get them by the end of the year because we're greedy.
Yeah, I mean it'd be great to play these games like sooner. I mean it's not Nintendo, but I'm still I'm still waiting for the announcement of FF7 Remake.
That's what I'm saying. Like, which I assume is gonna be on a Sony stage.
That's got to be like
right?
Exclusive. Like, there's no way Sony's letting that go. Right?
They've been riding this for over a year, like over a year
like
now.
2 years at this
2
point.
years.
Yeah.
And it's like here, have it on PC. That's the closest you're gonna get. So, yeah, I assume that'll be somewhere maybe this year if we're lucky. If not next year,
probably. I want to say they're gonna announce it this year, and then we're gonna see it like released like next year, hopefully.
Next year. Okay.
Yeah.
That would make sense because there's no more release windows. God of War, if that's at the end of the year, and then I don't know what's in the middle of the year, but heck. No, Forspoken. Yeah, Forspoken's in the middle.
Right.
So Square's not going to put anything else out. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else in news. Elden Ring, like I said, it's coming out. PC specs were kind of revealed, but I have no earthly clue because it's 12 gigs of RAM.
That's a weird number, by the way. I just want to say that's a weird number because RAM is usually in multiples of it's going to be 2, 4, not even 6 is weird. So it's like 2, 4, 8, 16. It doubles. So it's 2, 4.
It's squared?
Well, usually because they come in pairs, so
Right.
it's
Yeah.
usually
How do you
two,
get
four,
12 gigs of
eight.
RAM?
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
never.
That's why it was
Yeah.
so weird. Because it's like to
It,
get a 12 gig amount of RAM in your system, you would need like uh a 6 gig kit plus a 6 gig kit, and I feel like I've never seen those
and those are
before. So
like odd
yeah,
numbers, to actually even.
it's usually 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64 like
Right.
that,
Right.
and 128. I've never seen 12, so
I've never seen 12.
that's a weird number.
It seems like it's they are on the PC side at least. It's still they haven't really put the specs out on the Steam page. That was just kind of like on Bandai Namco's page or something like that. So
Right.
I assume they're gonna redo that, and we won't have to worry. And then I guess closing it out, there is the Uncharted. Talk about
Movie.
more stuff, and yeah, movie and Fortnite crossover.
I want to see the movie, man.
That's this week too.
Shit.
On
But
the 18th
I
or
have to
something.
go out in like I have to go out into the world to see that.
Dude,
so.
there's no one in theaters. Don't worry about it.
You don't think so?
I mean, I am going to go see Spider-Man probably tomorrow. I keep saying I'm going to see it.
The new one.
Dude, this theater has 300 something seats in it. I'm the only one in it.
Are you serious?
I'm the only one in a 300.
I still haven't seen. I still haven't seen the Tom Holland movies, so I need to watch those first.
Definitely, they're all on Netflix now.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Actually, they are. Yeah,
They're on
I watched
Netflix.
them. I watched Amazing like a few weeks ago.
Oh, how was it? I actually really like Amazing. I thought they did a great job on.
Yeah,
Amazing
I mean, I
1.
didn't see Amazing 2, so I saw Amazing 1. I'm gonna watch Amazing 2, and then I'm gonna watch the two Tom Holland movies,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna watch the new one in theaters, which is what? It's Spider-Man
Far
from
from
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
Yeah,
No Way Home. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's Far From Home
yes.
than Nowhere Home.
Yeah, I need to. So I'm gonna watch the two Tom Holland movies on Netflix, and I'll watch No Way Home in theaters.
Yeah, and the Super Bowl has passed. It'll be a week by now, but there was the Sonic 2 ad. They had a spot at the Super Bowl which was showing off Tails and Knuckles and Robotnik and that kind of fun stuff. But then there was also Lord of the Rings apparently is getting a what is this, Amazon Prime original TV show treatment that costs $2 billion.
That's a lot of money.
Just betting on those rings, all of them.
You know what else you could do with $2 billion? You could like solve world hunger for like a year or something.
We could do a lot of. They could do a lot of stuff with all this.
Can
money.
you look
They really
up how
could.
much it would cost to solve world hunger for 1 year? I'm just sorry.
Just curious how much.
How much to solve world hunger for 1 year? Well, never mind. It's much. Oh, that's.
Oh, here's how 6.6
It's so much
billion
money.
could-
It's so much money.
much
It's so
more
much
is it?
money. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Wow,
it's
345
billion per year. Never mind.
Yeah,
Never
45
mind.
billion
Yeah,
per year. I
per
mean,
year.
Microsoft spent 70 on the recent, so that's
Wait, 70 billion? 7B? 70B?
Yeah, that was how much it was for Activision Blizzard.
What?
So it was like 69.
Is that how much it was?
Yeah, it was like 69 billion, 69 point something. It's basically 70 billion.
So Microsoft, you're telling me, oh my god, you're right, it's 70 billion.
I told you. Yeah.
You're telling me Microsoft could have solved world hunger
For
a
at least
year and
year?
a half?
A year and a half,
For a year
yeah.
and a half? They could have solved world hunger, but they're like, we want Call of Duty instead. Damn. Holy shit.
That's savage. When you think of it that way, that's some straight denial on people. That's some
Oh my
straight
God.
denial on the human race right there.
You know what else? I think this also goes to show that like if humans wanted to solve world hunger, we could. We're just not.
Bezos is worth 203 billion by himself.
That's a lot. 203. So I mean, even Bezos himself
he
could.
he
He
pay
could solve
for
it for like 2-3 years, but there's no way Bezos could do it like forever, right? So
No, yeah, we can't. They can't do it forever, but they could postpone. They can make some people's lives greater, so that they could then, like, those people could rise up some more, and then keep spreading it.
I actually think what a crazy takeaway. The takeaway here is that like we could solve world hunger. We're just not.
We're playing games, baby. Playing games.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that's gonna do it for us on this episode. If you don't take anything else away from it, just know that we do hope one day life will be great, or we can live alive.
I hope life isn't a waking nightmare as it is every day for me.
If you since you do have Netflix, if you want to check out that show, All of Us Are Dead, the Korean drama, it's literally about kids being trapped in a school of zombies. And it has some depressing stuff in it though, bro. I'm like, oh my goodness. This one girl's like, you know what? I think I'd rather be gone because this is hell. And someone's like, you really? It's like, but you're alive. Yeah, I'm alive with zombies. It's not funny anymore.
Yeah, no, I mean, maybe just death is pretty chill. I don't mind. Yeah.
But anyways, do you have any closing remarks?
No, I don't know. I guess buy Chrono Cross. So Square's like, well, people like this game. Maybe we'll make a new one. So that'd be kind of cool. Also, I would love to see a Chrono Trigger remake in the 2D HD style. That'd be so good.
What if Sony's holding on to that? Like Square's like, hey, Nintendo, we'll give you that, but we'll give
Sony gets the Chrono Trigger remake. Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
Bring it.
That being said, though, I mean, if you really think about it, though, I think it's better on Nintendo because Chrono Trigger was a Super Famicom game.
True.
But yeah, anyways, I don't know. You can follow me on Twitch, I guess, Root24. That's twitch.tv/Root24. Mostly play JRPGs. I'm playing Arceus right now, Pokemon, but we're playing some other stuff. If you follow me, if you're watching this live right now, which I don't know who is, but if you're watching this live right now, I'm probably gonna order the Valentine's pizza tomorrow on stream. So.
Oh gosh, we didn't even talk about the fast food today.
Yeah, so I'm gonna order that pizza tomorrow. So you want to check out my stream? I'll be eating it. So yeah,
that's from Domino's, right?
It's a Domino's, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcast or whatever it is, you missed the stream, but you can still check out the VOD. But in case you don't want to miss another stream, you can follow me on Twitch, and I'll go live Tuesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. JST, and we'll play video games or sometimes eat pizza.
Man, I know I'm looking at this. I got it up on the screen, and it's like they even made the pepperonis this year in heart-shaped.
Heart-shaped, yeah.
They took it to the next level, but it is starting to show because you did eat this, what was it, 2 years ago or something? And yeah, and there was like the whole issue of it not looking like a heart, and
it still doesn't look like a heart. It's like shit.
It still doesn't.
I guarantee, like when I order it, it's gonna just look like a shitty pizza. I bet you.
They give you.
Much.
I think to solve that, they just gave you what it looks like is the heart. The pizza's a heart. The pepperonis are a heart. You get heart-shaped candy.
And you get like free desserts, basically.
And free desserts, yeah. So they increased how many hearts you get to give you the illusion that it's all cohesive. It's all.
It looks like shit, honestly.
Hey man, you never know. Tomorrow you might be in for a surprise. It might be good. It might be.
Anyways, good. I'm gonna stream this tomorrow, so come hang out if you're around.
Yep. And for me, go ahead and follow myself at NinjaTrix, NinjaTrix, playing Horizon Zero Dawn, AI Somnium Files, and then from next week we'll be switching over to Elden Ring and trying to do some crazy balance between that and eventually starting Kingdom Hearts in March.
Yeah, so you're streaming Elden Ring, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be streaming it and seeing how far. I really want to beat that game on stream. I've been wanting. We've talked about it, I've been wanting to go into a Souls-like game for a minute. So now is the time. And once again, be sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and I hope you did enjoy it. And also subscribe to the channel. We go live every week, and we do have new episodes every Friday on Apple, Spotify, Google Play Podcasts, all the audio services. So if you're not into YouTube, if you don't want to see our faces, and we understand, sometimes we're too beautiful for that. We too handsome. We too good for you.
Yeah, we're too good looking. You don't want to look at us actually, because you go on YouTube, you follow us on YouTube, you're like, holy shit, these guys are like way too hot.
Exactly, and then you'll be buying our goods.
We should sell merch. Yeah,
we should sell merch.
Yeah,
there's the merch shop. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyways, we'll catch you all next week for episode number 122 of the Unknown Games Podcast, where we talk about another way how to live alive.
Yeah, except we're not playing that game, so. But yeah.
Well, just be a stranger in paradise.
Final Fantasy Origins, Elden Ring. Horizon.
We'll catch you.
Forbidden West. All right.
Oh, gosh. All right, everybody.
All right, see you.
See ya.
Peace.
Yeah.